Hey y'all, it's Denise, and I'm in my studio this week for my studio session, and it's all about lemons. And I have added a lot of lemons to my work over time, and I don't know why. I just enjoy painting them. So they end up a lot of times in my work, whether it's abstract or representational. And this painting actually started out as a representational still life. It was 2 feet by 4 feet, and I loved it for a long, long time until I got into abstract. And I painted over that painting and abstracted it out, but I kept my tulips and I kept my lemons. And I'm going to show you a piece that I'm working on now that I'm adding lemons and how I do it. Okay, so here we are. I have a 30 by 40 inch abstract painting. It's flowers, it's lemons. I love the lemons. And I'm going to focus on this one lemon in this whole painting. Is the only lemon that's going to be finished off or a little bit more realistic. And I'm not going to do that with paint. I'm actually going to do that with my oil pastels. Now I've got all acrylic paints happening here, my Stabilo pencils, and I'm using oil pastels. I love how vibrant they are. I love playing with them. I love that it's a different texture. It's a different medium in this mixed media piece. So what you have to be really careful of, is oil pastels don't ever dry. Oil sticks will eventually dry, but oil pastels do not. So that means that months and months from now, if you wipe on this, it can come off. So what you have to be really careful about is when you use oil pastels, make sure that you come back over them with a fixative. Okay. I will use a workable fixative. This is a matte workable fixative by Grumbacher. And I seal in that oil pastel, and then I can keep on working on the painting, and when it comes time to do a top coat, I'll top coat over it. So just be really careful of that. So what I'm going to do is I have a base, kind of a mid-range color painted here, and I'm going to go over it just very scribbly because I want this to still look painterly. So I'm going to scribble over and add a little bit more of a lighter yellow. And I'm also, think about where your light source is coming from. For some reason, my light source in my mind always is coming from my left side. So I've got that. Now I want a little lighter yellow, and I know I have that. This is a real, this one's called pale yellow. So I'm going to come in with a little pale yellow across the top. And kind of blend that in with my finger. It's my favorite part. Maybe come in, definitely want to add a little white. Now, I don't know if this is going to let me. There we go. My little shine. Now, a lemon won't have too much of a shine because it's a little bit more textured, duller finish. And then I think I want to add, I'm going to add a purple in for my shadow. So let me get a little bit of that in through here. Hit it again with the yellow. And then blend that in a bit. And the yellow and purple together are, they kind of compliments on the color wheel so that it neutralized that out. I'm going to go a little darker. I'm going to kind of soften it out and blend it in. And get that bottom color, that bottom shadow, and I can come back over and keep my scribbly yellow happening. And then I have some water-soluble oil pastels, which always seems very weird to me, a water-soluble oil pastel. And this piece is very textury, so I don't want to blend this out where it's so soft that it doesn't look like it belongs to this painting. I think I want to add a little touch of, crazy as it might sound, let me see, maybe a little bit. A little bit of green. And the thing I like about this most of all is it just gives you room to play around. I love just playing around and seeing what turns up. I do like that little bit of green added in there. It almost turns into a limey green. And I'm going to go back to my purple underneath here. Dry that off a little bit. Seem to have let things get a little bit wet. So I think I need to let this dry off. I feel pretty confident that I can't go wrong with all the layers that I'm adding, because most of my work, that's what really makes it pop for me, are all the layers. So I'm gonna let that dry up for a minute. Go back and play with a little bit of the yellow. Come back down here this darker purple. A little bit of lighter purple. And I could also use like a Stabilo Woody on these. This is not going to let me do white because it needs to dry up a little bit more. And I think I'm going to come with my Stabilo. And just kind of darken that up a little bit. Because I do love the detail the black adds. So this is where my lemons are ending up in this painting that, as I'm working on it, is a little bit too bright and colorful for the place it's going into with my client. So let me give you a little history on this. This is where it started out about 5 years ago, and it's been hanging in her home. She wanted to lighten it up a little bit, and I was having fun with it. We wanted to keep the lemons, but the rest of it was a little bit too cute. So I decided to make it a little bit more sophisticated and turn it into an abstract with the lemons, and that is definitely working for both of us. So there you go. My favorite fruit to paint is a lemon. It sometimes is a pear, and it has been known to be a green apple as well. So let me know in the comments what your favorite fruit or your favorite object or any tips and tricks that you might have to share. I love reading it. And until then, hit the like, thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next week in my next studio session. Bye-bye.